The first item that we're going to farm is the low carbon activator. The current most efficient way to get this item is farming the Fallen Theater strategic outpost in Kingston on hard mode. Once you are at the outpost, destroy the battery units and the boss will spawn. Weaken the boss as you proceed to leave the outpost. You will notice a 9-second timer start counting down. Once this timer reaches 0, you want to kill the boss so that you can fail the mission and get his drop at the same time. When you succeed in doing this, you will be able to re-enter the outpost and farm it again right away. If this method doesn't work for you, then you are either doing it wrong or they may have patched it by the time you are watching this video. If the developers patched this method, then you will need to wait 1 minute for the outpost to be farmed again. The next item we need is the conductive metallic foil. This item is efficiently farmed in hard mode using precision breakers. We are going to use the breakers to open up the encrypted vaults. First, let me show you an efficient way to get these breakers. You're going to need to teleport to the abandoned refinery unit in Echo Swamp on hard mode. This mission should easily be farmed as fast as 30 to 60 seconds, depending on how efficient you are, and the 30 seconds of time is more easily pulled off if you are farming with a group that is also efficient at the farm. As it currently stands, this is known to be the fastest way to farm Piper, Gold, Descendants, and Weapon Proficiency all at once, while also dropping the breakers on top of that. Remember to equip your consumable drop rate increase modifier for higher consumable drop rates. Since the breakers fall under consumables, it will help you potentially get more drops. Now that you have your breakers, we are going to farm the encrypted vaults located in Vespers. The two areas that I like to farm in are the Ruins and Timberfall. In Timberfall, I was able to farm these 4 spots, and at the Ruins, I was able to farm these 4 spots. Remember to use your scanner to ping the noise it makes when you are close to a vault. This is what it will sound like. Once you find a vault, interact with it and you will use the appropriate breaker where you will now need to complete a challenge. Make sure that your meter hits the indicator using the correct key prompt displayed on the screen. This key prompt will sometimes change. The easiest descendant to do this with is Enzo. The heat plasma battery is farmed in Hagios at the old mystery mission on hard mode. Once you get into the mission, just simply skip all of the enemies until you get to the first mandatory objective. Once you make it here, interact with the target to start the objective. Do not capture any of the blue points. We simply need to run out the timer so that we can farm as many elites here as possible. Every elite enemy that spawns here will drop the heat plasma battery. Once the timer runs out, check the mission results to see your total heat plasma battery count collected from the mission. As you can see in the video, I collected 52 heat plasma batteries in 5 minutes and 47 seconds, which roughly estimates to about 539 per hour. It will probably be a little less than that because of the restart times and potentially receiving less than 50 heat plasma batteries because of the randomness of the drop quantity, but this is a pretty decent estimate of what you'll acquire if you were to farm this for 1 hour. The polyatomic ion particle is farmed in the Fortress region on hard mode at the Command Relay mission. This farm is pretty straightforward. Once the mission starts, just stay in the circle and there will be 2 elite enemies that spawn. I believe the first elite enemy has a 100% chance to drop the ion particles, while the second elite enemy drops it only sometimes. Now for the energy activator blueprints, there are 2 methods that I'm going to explain on how to acquire this blueprint. But before I explain the 2 methods, I personally would recommend trying not to farm the item and just letting it come naturally as you farm for more weapons and then powering up their abilities or getting new descendants, etc., as these activators will drop without you trying to farm for it. I actually ended up getting all of my blueprints so far without even trying for them, and I'm sitting at 6 left, and will likely get a lot more without trying as I keep working on my builds. If you wish to power farm the blueprints, then let's start with method 1. For method 1, we are going to farm the fortress Falling Arc fusion reactor located in the fortress. It will require us to get the amorphous material 121, 34 monomer shards, and 11 inorganic shards. Right across from the reactor is the fastest farm for the monomer, and it also gives some inorganic shards as well. You will need to use Bunny with maxed out range mods. The 3 core mods to use are Skill Expansion, Frugal Mindset, and Maximize Range. The other mods you can put on are ones that increase skill power to get some extra DPS, and you'll be set for a quick and easy farm. Once you get to the farm, all you need to do is jump in this one spot and you will kill all of the enemies that spawn, because your maximum range mods will have a large enough AoE to attack the enemies at both sides of the spawn. For the inorganic material, we are going to acquire this using Freya in White Knight Gulch at the Mountaintop Poison Reactor. There are only 2 sides the enemies spawn at. There is one at the left here and one on the right. This will go really fast solo or with a group. If you can host a group, that would be optimal, but solo is just fine if you prefer to just go in yourself. Now, we need the amorphous material 121. Since the material is only available when you successfully infiltrate the mission, that means we need to use Sharon to disable the battery units. Make sure you equip your consumable drop rate modifier and then head to the Converter Facility Strategic Outpost. Once here, use Sharon's active camo to go invisible and disable all of the battery units. You can only disable the battery units if the enemies haven't seen you before you turned on your camo, so be careful. Once you disable all of the units, the boss will spawn in as usual, and you will have a chance of getting the 121 amorphous material pattern drop. Once you are finished gathering enough amorphous material 121s and shards, you can now activate the fusion reactor to fight the boss. Once the boss is defeated, loot the giant globe and use your amorphous material to have a chance at the activator blueprint. For method 2, you're going to need to have developed your descendants to be very powerful. This is going to require a lot of work, so it's only recommended for those that are good enough to defeat hard mode bosses solo very quickly. For instance, the Devourer boss can be defeated in as fast as 10 plus seconds solo using Ultimate Bunny's high voltage build. So if I wanted to farm activator blueprints really quickly, then I would run the shelter mission on hard mode to acquire 2 079 drops in one run. In order for us to acquire these 2 079 drops in one run, we will need to increase the kill score modifier by re-rolling it. I forget which percent is required to reach 40,500 kill score, but I typically start at 220%, and if I need more, I'll re-roll to 230%, but usually 220% is enough, or more than enough in some cases. You will notice the kill score in 3 different tiers. When we reach 40,500 kill score, we will have a 100% chance of getting 2 amorphous material 079 drops and a 20% chance of also getting a shape stabilizer. So make sure you re-roll for a higher bonus. That covers this guide, and I hope you found it helpful. Thanks for watching.